welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We hope you're having yourselves a wonderful start to your week this week as we are here back inside of our Great Lakes Honda City studios. You know, we were in the travel Great Lakes Honda City studios as Wake Up Call broadcasted from on-site, on location in the great state of Florida for the last 2 weeks. So we had some awesome broadcast people coming into the show as we've had the opportunity to do that, obviously via picture-in-picture. And, of course, we were on-site, on location with some people. I got to broadcast from Dixie Landings, a.k.a. Port Orleans Riverside, which was really cool. I got to start an all-new segment called Cuts and Cards, where my big brother Joey and I, one of us cuts the other person's hair. You could see he did a really good job. And as he was cutting my hair, I was checking out his card collection, and I actually bought a bunch of them. So today, folks, we got not one, but 2 boxes. Look at this right here. This was all brought home from the great state of Florida. So this was all bought from my big brother Joey from his collection. I don't even know if I've seen half of his collection, but from what I saw, this is what I brought home, and I'm going to be unveiling all of this stuff today. It's in order of different pieces of things that I want to show you all and go through, and I saved the best for last as always. So we'll see that in just a little while. But Cuts and Cards, an all-new segment that we're doing, and got to be with Papa Joe, got to broadcast with him, sitting next to him, and to be in the room with him and MT and Diana and Joey and the crew. So that meant a ton to me. And of course, being down in the great state of Florida, we did our show Do Diz with Dan, which is our Disney-centric show. And Super Powered Pop is continuing to release our experience of Universal's Epic Universe 5 parks in 1. So make sure you stay close to all of our social media. Facebook is at Wake Up Call DT, X at Call DT, Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. For Super Powered Pop and our coverage of the Epic Universe and more, you can go to at Super Powered Pop, and that is on Facebook, X, and Instagram. And to check out Do Diz with Dan, you can go to Facebook and Instagram at Do Diz with a Z, Do D-I-Z with Dan, and check out all of our Disney coverage, which continues to be released this week as well. So a lot of great stuff coming up. We are here on Wake Up Call inside of the Great Lakes Honda City studios. Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. You can reach them Monday through Saturday for sales and service. Let them know the DT sent you and get a sneak peek at everything that's at Great Lakes Honda City by going to greatlakeshondacity.com. You are with us on youtube.com and facebook.com, both /wakeupcalldt, and on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com. Up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the beautiful globe that we call Earth. You can find us anywhere right here with you Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And on the playback, you can find us wherever you are, whenever you are. So make sure you check us out on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We appreciate you greatly for being a part of the show, however you're a part of the show. With that being said, you can also find us on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, as well as Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. It is a Monday, which means that Murphalation Station for the Nation is with us here, and he is picture-in-picture with us this morning. And, of course, on a Murph Monday, him and I are going to be talking about a bunch of different things. We'll start things off with Major League Baseball topics, and then we will unveil my boxes here, my finds from my big brother Joey. I got 2 boxes. We got a small one and we got a long box, and they both came home with me, precious cargo, from the great state of Florida. So, Murph, as I showed people before, we are going to start here with this box, and then we're going to go to the big one. There is a ton of stuff. I can't even believe the stuff that Joey has. I don't even know if he knows the stuff that he has. And I came home with some really crazy, awesome things, and I think we're all going to have some fun this morning with it. So good morning to you. How are you?
That's awesome, dude. And I am good. Been I think a couple of weeks since we actually got to hop on here because we had Memorial Day. I had to work last Monday, so nice to be back in my normal Monday routine. that starts with the show on Monday mornings at 9 a.m. So I was definitely awake early enough and prepared for today. That is for sure. After we had a pretty long weekend. We were actually at Baltusrol for 2 days doing the thing, doing their huge multi-vendor fitting event. They had, let's see, us, so TaylorMade, Titleist, Ping, Callaway, Mizuno, Shrixon, Zexio, and on Saturday they had FootJoy, who was doing this really interesting thing where they had something to measure your foot, and it tells you exactly what style and size shoe you were wearing. So
Oh,
I
nice.
know I shouldn't be talking up the competitors, but that was actually kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, and anytime you get to go to an event and experience something cool and interesting and different, like you said, I mean, the shoe size thing sounds like that'd be kind of fun to get.
Especially at that place.
Yeah,
I mean, Baltusrol is, the amount of major championships it's hosted. I mean, Jack Nicklaus won 2 U.S. Opens there. Phil Mickelson won the PGA there. It's a historic place. And, my hope at some point this year is to be able to go out and play. I know the pro had already offered at some point later this year. So I told him when he did, I hope I will be taking you up on that. So I got myself a little bit of merch from the shop. And then they also gave us a nice little gift bag after the yesterday at the end of the day I think we all got a hat and a nice steel cup, which was pretty cool.
yeah,
So
yeah.
big shout out to them to Jamie and his crew for everything they were able to do for us and to put on such a great event.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing when you get to go out to these different events and there's things that we've gotten to do obviously here with Wake Up Call and Super Powered Pop and all that good stuff and do Diz with Dan and I mean a lot of things that I've gotten to showcase and to be able to share with everybody. And so when you get to do these events, it really is exciting and it's unique and it's always cool when you get like something that you can't buy anywhere else or you get a little special something that they send home with you is
Hmm.
really awesome. So happy that you got to do it. Happy you got to have some fun. Happy to have you back here. As I told everybody, we've been on the road in our second home of the great state of Florida, and Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora was bringing you specials from Orlando, from St. Augustine, and so I'm happy that we got to do that. And obviously,
How was your trip to Florida, buddy?
dude, it was
We
awesome.
didn't get to talk too much about that.
No, 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 no. It was awesome. So it was like three trips in one. It started out, actually, it was like four trips in one because you know that I can't help myself but do business while I'm away. And so people were, they're like, "Are you on vacation?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I'm doing my show still." And
Business trip.
yeah, it was a business. It really was. And so we started things out. It was good. Went down with mom Saturday, May 24th. And so mom was with me down in Orlando, stayed in a new hotel we had never stayed at before, but it was right by all of our familiar digs. So we got to go to a lot of cool things and things that we know. And so, yeah, we went down there, got to go to our church. That was fun. And got to be with mom from Saturday to Wednesday. And really, we just sat by the pool. We ate good food. We got a tan. We sat by the pool and we had long chats. And then after that, on Wednesday, when I brought my mom to the airport, I went to Disney Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then I drove to St. Augustine, spent some time with Papa Joe and Mary, went and stayed with them, then saw my big brother Joey and Diana. She made some incredible food. She's a fantastic cook. MT is always holding down the fort. She's a great cook as well, so I got very spoiled. I got my Zaxby's, which was nice. I did, and then Joey and I said, I need to get my hair cut. I said I didn't bring down my razor, and normally I do it myself. And I said to Mary, "Do you have anybody that you know?" And she's like, "Well, Joey cuts his hair." And I was like, "I thought he did." So he said, "Yeah, I'll cut your hair. Come over to the house." I had never seen Joey's new house, so I went to see his new house that him and Diana just got recently, and the house is absolutely beautiful. So went in there, went to his like man cave area that he's putting together, and he looks in the corner. He has stacks and stacks of boxes and bins, and it's all cards. And it was like going to an estate sale because he doesn't even know what he's had over the years. I mean, I think he knows some of it, but it's like he has all of these cards, autograph cards, rookie cards, old cards, new cards, patch cards, relic, all this stuff. So he's like, hey, take a look at this. I'll cut your hair. And so I was thinking about, well, we're gonna do our box break like we normally do, our bro box break with GG cards and breaks, but why don't we do this in a unique way and go even farther? I said, I love to create, as you know, and I love to be original, and I don't know anybody that's doing this. And I love the barbershop feel. So, and I wanted to work with a barbershop. So I said, why don't we do something called cuts and cards? And he's like, I love it. So he's shaving my head while I'm looking through his collection. And we took a bunch of pictures, put it all together. And then I had graphic stuff of us having Letterman jackets and with Lando 7 for him and 21 Tortora for me, and put it all together, put the scissors together, put the cuts and cards, got some music, non-copywritten stuff that we have in our library, and assembled this thing. And then we did a 4-box break, 2 baseball, 2 football, found some really cool stuff. You're going to see some of it today. And yeah, I mean, we had a great time doing that. And I went around and discovered St. Augustine a little bit. Got in touch with my little sister.
Beautiful, right?
I love St. Augustine. Oldest town in America. And then got in touch with my little sister, Franny. Got to do her exclusives. And that's not even done yet. She has 2 more years of eligibility. This is how crazy my little sis is. Fran graduated from Stony Brook in 3 years. So number one, to graduate in 3 years is huge. But she didn't get 1 degree. She got 2. She got a psychology bachelor's. She got a business bachelor's. She still has 2 years of eligibility. She's transferring to Lemoyne D1 women's lacrosse. And so our state champion is, or pardon me, our sectional champion, I didn't get to play states that year. My sectional champion, little sis, is coming home. And I got to break the story that Lemoyne has brought her in. She's got 2 years of eligibility. And then we wrote an article and I worked on that together while I was down in Florida. So I got to celebrate Fran and put a spotlight back on such a wonderful person and such a wonderful, wonderful little sis to me. By blood, she is my cousin, but by everything and how we are together, people just know her as my little sister, and that's how we treat each other. So I'm very, very happy that she's coming home. I got to do that. And beyond that, I went back to Orlando right before I left, and I did Universal's Epic Universe on the 2-week anniversary of it opening. I went to all 5 parks. I went to Celestial Park. I went to How to Train Your Dragon, Super Nintendo World. I went to Harry Potter's Ministry of Magic and to the Dark Universe. Got to experience all of that. That was incredibly insane. The Mario, if it was just Super Nintendo World and I could live in the world of Mario, I literally could sleep there, eat there, and play there all day. And I almost bought everything in the store. So that was really exciting. Stay tuned for more. And then I went to Disney on Friday. On the day I was supposed to leave, I had a flight at 6 o'clock. I went to Disney, and I was at Disney all the way up until I had to leave for my flight. Guardians was down most of the day, and Guardians turned on right before I left. I got to get on thanks to the family in front of me, the guy going, hey, let's go. And I heard him tell his family, and we all ran up to it. I got on, and I got to ride Guardians of the Galaxy right before I got on the plane. And I also got to do Tron in the same day. And I stayed with
That's
my buddy
sweet.
Eric. And I had a business meeting on our fantasy football league, which is the oldest league that I've ever run, which is down in Florida. It's in year 14. And we are currently in the process of designing an all new plan for that. And I got to have a business meeting with that. So I ate some great food. I saw my family. I got to, celebrate Franny and really just bring all my, bring a ton of the shows together. And Super Powered Pop, Do Diz with Dan, and Wake Up Call all worked cohesively and danced with each other. So, I mean, to me, it was a wonderful trip. But as everyone that knows me, it's always business and pleasure. So when they say, what are you traveling for? I always say both because it's the truth. But I know that a lot of great things happened, and I'm very excited about what's to come.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I'm glad to hear it. It's obviously for you. I'm sure it's nice to be home. I'm sure it was a little hot down there.
Yeah.
But when did you get home?
I got home When did I get home? That's a great question. June 6th. June 6th? Yeah, June
Okay,
6th.
so you've been home for a couple days.
Yeah.
The weekend, like the last handful of days, has been very hot. Except well, yesterday was a lot better. So we
Yeah.
had the rain come through on Saturday, and then yesterday was much better.
Yeah.
Like it was like 72 and sunny. Like that is as good as it gets
Yeah.
in the state of Pennsylvania and the state of New Jersey. So being out on the range of Baltusrol yesterday, it was not hot at all. The weather was perfect. We got a little rain that came through right at the end, like right as like we were literally packing up. We got my truck packed up, and that's when it started to rain. So timing could not have been any better. Um, but yeah, so it was. I'm sure you experienced some heat down there, but I know anybody in the Northeast experienced some heat in the last few days as well. So it's nice that I don't like rain, but it's nice that the rain has kind of cooled us off a little bit. I just hope it doesn't rain tomorrow morning because I'm playing golf tomorrow morning.
Well, yeah, I hope for you that it does not and that it's nice and like sunny and 75. And so I
Mm-hmm.
actually started doing something else. And as of yesterday, I'm officially a gardener. So as you can see here, folks, I have gone
Love it.
the true Italian way. I have now put in my own strawberry, my own spearmint plants here. And
Tomatoes?
what'd you say? Tomatoes, not
Tomatoes?
yet. No, no tomatoes
No.
yet. So spearmint and strawberries, and then my hydrangea and some more perennials have been put with my rose bush. So now I should have my every year flowers sprouting up, giving me beautiful technicolors. So I cleaned out an entire area in front of my house, pulled out all these disgusting weeds that grew while I was gone. My rose bush is all protected now. I got a little area for my fruit and my spearmint. And then I have a whole front area for my hydrangeas as well as my other flowers. So I'm
Nice.
officially doing it, and I got a feeling yesterday it was gonna rain. Had a little vibe, little wind in the air. So we got some natural water on these flowers yesterday, which is good. And yeah, so I'm home and I'm gardening now because I want to come home to a house that greets me with beauty. And so here we go.
Nice.
Yeah. So something different, something fun, something exciting, and definitely looking forward to what's to come. But yeah, I'm happy to be home. I'm happy that it's in central New York. It's supposed to be. I'm looking at it right now. It's supposed to be in the 70s. Pretty much in the. I can ride with this. Everything is under 80 now. When I was down in
Oh, that's
Florida,
perfect.
yeah, when I was down in Florida, it was 96 one of the days. It was 91. I think it was actually hotter in Syracuse than it was in Florida one of the days I was down there. And it was the same temperature on one of the days as well. So definitely, I know there was a heat wave up here, but I hope everybody has cooled down and is relaxing. Now, there's something to be said when we jump into the baseball world and we talk about cool down, but you want these teams to be heating up. And the Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees, when they play well, even if you hate baseball, when these teams play each other, you pay attention. When they play well, it causes
Always.
more people like moths to the flame to come to baseball. Well, there's something going on with Derek Jeter's Mr. November home run ball. Now, this is interesting here. Neil Dunleavy has had it with him. Now, every so often, he would take it out and look at it. The gold lettering, the round black smudge where the bat struck it, and the signature that had faded to the point that you couldn't really see it except for having the number 2. Now, Dunleavy grew up on the outskirts, I should say, of New York City, but was raised at Yankee Stadium. His father, John, worked as a vendor there for 57 years. And so
Wow.
as we look at all this, on November 1st, Derek Jeter stepped to the plate. Now, this is something that I'm not excited about in the story. He hit this ball over an Arizona Diamondbacks closer, but the Diamondbacks had won two.
Hey,
of the-
they won the series,
I
so
know.
they get the last laugh.
And I was just about to say it. They won two of the first. They won 2 of the first 3 games, and were primed to take a commanding 3-1 series lead until Tino Martinez ambushed Kim for a 9th inning home run that sent the game in extra innings. With 2 outs in the 10th, Jeter dug himself an 0-2 hole. He fought ball, foul, foul, ball, foul before Kim's 61st pitch of the game caught too much of the outside corner. Jeter lofted the ball to the opposite field. It kept carrying and snuck over the fence just to the left of the 314-foot marker under the right field foul pole, while where Dunleavy happened to be. As a man to his right flipped over the railing and those to his left jumped with joy, Dunleavy pounced on the ball, securing it with his right arm amid the chaos. So he said, quote, if someone mentions it, they're like, oh, that's the ball Daddy cares so much about, end quote, when he was talking about this. As the ball is a time machine in the heyday of the Yankees. Baseball's last great dynasty. And when we look at this, the home run that they had there, now Jeter, Mr. November nickname, is perhaps the most iconic. In fact, Dunleavy gladly shares with his 3 children, and his children are the ones saying that's the ball that Daddy cares so much about. So he said, I'm selling the ball, I'm not selling the story, end quote. So this is something that could be going on here right now. There's an auction that ends June 14th, so it could be going somewhere else. It's obviously going to go to somebody here. We'll see how much they're going to sell it for. But from now until June 14th, and this morning it's June 9th. So a few more days, less than a week left. He is going to be selling this ball. It's on auction. And so for those of you that are wondering how you can get this ball, I do want to let you know that the auction here for Jeter's ball that is going to be up until June 14th. And I can only imagine the price that someone's going to pay for this thing.
It's not even like it's not like it's McGuire's 70th home run or
Yeah.
Bonds' 756 or a ball that Nolan Ryan finished a no-hitter with. Like it's just a home run. It's just a home run ball that Derek Jeter hit in a World Series game, a World Series where they went on to lose.
Right.
It's not like it's Ohtani's 50-50 home run ball. Like I don't think does it say how much the auction's at?
So I'm trying to find. So there's the letter of authenticity. I'm looking through a bunch of its stuff now.
I mean, if this thing goes for more than like $600,000, it would be,
yeah,
cats off to the guy that held on to it all this time. But if it goes for more than $600,000, that's a joke.
Yeah,
that ball's not worth that.
So there's a Tony Gwynn thing here. I'm trying to find the exact link here. So
let me see if I can find it.
That's the one thing that's eluding me here is that I was going through the story and not finding. I think there might. Well, let's see. After connecting with the auction house Golden and authenticity. All right, so that's the auction house. But yeah, we're trying to find what the current auction is at right now.
What auction house is it being sold by?
It says they contact. Where is the thing here? They contacted the auction house Golden. Goldi.
It's on Golden?
Here it is. It's at $120,000 right now.
Okay. Yeah, that thing should not go more. That shouldn't even go for. Wait a minute. That's not. What is this? 110. No, that's not right.
Yeah. It's a 2001 World Series ball. This is what it says. Derek Jeter, quote unquote, Mr. November, World Series Game 4, walk-off home run, actual game used, signed, inscribed home run, official World Series, C-League Baseball, first World Series game to enter month of November, JT Sports, LOA, JSA, LOA, consigner, LOP is what it says in the full description here. 120,000. There's only been 3 bids.
I'm not surprised.
So there's only been 3 bids on it. It ends in 5 days, 12 hours, and 30 minutes on June 14th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. The extending bidding interval is going to be 30 minutes, but the bid history is on May 29th, 100,000. That was at 2:32 p.m., I believe Eastern Time. And then on May 29th at 11:47 p.m., a little over 9 hours later, it was bumped up $10,000 to 110. And then on June 6th, so there was nothing from May 29th to June 6th this past Friday when I was coming home. At 1:24 p.m. when I was still in Florida, somebody bumped up $10,000 more dollars to 120,000. So the first
this thing I wouldn't be shocked if this thing doesn't get more than 200,000.
Well, my
It's
thing
not
is
worth
like
it.
it's a Jeter ball, which is awesome, right?
It's
But
cool.
but
It's got a great story,
It's not the last home run that he hit.
but
It's not a World Series championship. Like, let's say, okay, let's just for argument's sake say this is a Jeter walk-off home run ball in like a series clinching World Series event.
like Joe Carter.
How much
Like
money
Joe
does
Carter in 92, 93.
so let's just say this is Jeter's solo walk-off home run that wins the World Series. How much would that if that was the ball, how much does it go for?
Easily $1 million.
Okay.
Because Yankees fans are psychotic.
I was
But
gonna
you
say
think
I was
about
gonna
it,
say $1 million because listen, Yankees fans
but
they'll find
yeah,
the money. They will find.
if
They'll
you think
mortgage their
about
house
it,
and find the money.
absolutely. But if you think about it, a ball like that, if that was what it truly was, first of all, he wouldn't have still had it. He would have sold it years ago, and I don't think it would have sold for $1 million back then. It might have gotten a few $100,000, back in 2001 or 2002. But like if that ball went up for auction today, if that was what it truly was,
Yeah.
there's no doubt it's $1 million ball plus.
Yeah.
I mean, you basically think about it, like if it's like I have no idea where the Joe Carter home run ball is that clinched the Blue Jays the World Series, or the Mazeroski ball from 1960, but those balls probably wouldn't be worth quite as much simply because Blue Jays and Pirates, not huge, team names, not a crazy fan base like what the Yankees have. Like Yankee fans will spend money for memorabilia.
Oh yeah.
They just do.
Listen, they'll spend $30 for 4 little chicken nuggets and a bucket of fries. So
Yeah. Or $20 for a 16-ounce beer.
But just to remind everybody here, there is a team that won that World Series in 2001, and I am going to be very excited about it, of course, as always. Here is a Randy Johnson card that has a piece of his jersey from the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the man who, let me ask you this question, Murph. This was the World Series clinching hit that won it all. And so the guy who did it, Luis Gonzalez, there's a piece of his bat. Here's my question to you. I know Arizona doesn't have the fan base that the Yankees have, but what about the Luis Gonzalez ball that he hit into center field over second base that drew in the final run that won the World Series in that year in 2001 against the Yankees? How much does that ball go for if that ball was made available?
Well, I think the bat would be more valuable than the ball, to be quite honest, because I think he did break the bat on that hit, which is why it was hit so soft over second base.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe 200.
I just want it to be more than. I mean, it's no offense. I love Jeter.
It is definitely worth more than that
Luis
Jeter ball.
Gonzalez ball, bat, whatever needs to.
I
be
imagine
worth
though
something.
that the team has that in their Hall of Fame at is still Chase Field.
Yeah, Chase. But I'm
Team stadium names keep getting changed, man. I can't keep up anymore. I still know the Brewer Stadium is Miller Park. I still know the White Sox Stadium is Great American Ballpark.
Shea Stadium.
It'll always be that. Well, it's actually a different stadium though.
Yeah.
That's the main difference with that one.
But your brain, like my brain, is still with MacArthur. Like our AAA baseball stadium here,
AT&T Stadium.
MacArthur.
That one too.
Well, the stadium here for AAA baseball, it was MacArthur Stadium. Then they knocked it down. Then they built right next. So now MacArthur's where the parking lot was, and they built right next to it. So the stadium that we have now is NBT Bank, I think, which used to be PNC Bank, which used to, I think, before that, be some other bank or whatever it may be. But typically it's banks, it's airlines, it's companies that have a lot of money. So
it's even football. Heinz Field is no longer Heinz Field. That will always be Heinz Field.
In my brain, it is Heinz Field.
Always be Heinz Field.
And this is my brain. My brain, when I think of the Steelers, I think of Heinz Field and I think of a giant bottle of ketchup.
Yes.
That's what I think of.
Dude, that is the Steelers. So week one or whenever they go back home, when Aaron Rodgers takes the field for the Steelers at home, it will be at Acupuncture Stadium.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell it's called.
Akershus. But it's, I mean, it
something
doesn't
like that. But hey,
does.
can I just
What?
real quick?
What?
Week 1,
Yeah.
Jets Steelers at MetLife. Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields.
Why didn't they just
Both
trade?
revenge
Here's the
games.
thing. This took a long time. Why didn't they just trade their quarterbacks?
Because they were both free agents. They had no rights to them.
Well, they should have done it before the season ended.
I mean, hey, I think we got the better guy anyway, so. I haven't decided if I'm going to get a Justin Fields jersey yet. I'm probably going to because I'll just get it for $30 from whatever website I always get it from. And, I mean, I'm not getting rid of my Aaron Rodgers jerseys because, Hall of Famer that gets to actually play quarterback for your team, it doesn't happen often.
No.
Especially because the Jets are historically awful at football. That's all we need to talk about the Jets. I don't need to talk about that crap anymore. They're terrible. I don't need to talk about the Jets for another 2.5 months.
Which is why I'll make a point to bring up the Jets within the next 2.5 months. No, but so, I mean, Aaron Rodgers.
I know you will.
And I knew that we were going to bring that up because I was going to save it, but I know, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, obviously, he signed his deal with the Steelers. It's been a long time coming. Nobody knew who the Steelers quarterback was going to be, nor did they know who the quarterback of the Saints are going to be, and this, that, and whatever, and the Giants trying to figure out what they're going to do with their quarterback scenario. So there's been some teams that have still been a question mark, and now the Steelers have signed Aaron Rodgers to a 1-year deal. It is $13.6 million. He's supposed to continue to wear number 8. Here is what we know. So he passed a physical, signed his 1-year, $13.6 million contract with the Steelers. $10 million of the $13.6 is guaranteed, and it can go up to $19.5 million with incentives. Now, he will speak to the media, I believe, tomorrow, which is Tuesday, June 10th, following the first practice of the Pittsburgh Steelers mandatory minicamp. Announced the quarterback signing shortly after. The Steelers also revealed Rodgers will don number 8 as he did with the New York Jets the past 2 years. And so Rodgers informed the club he would fly to Pittsburgh and sign the deal. That happened here recently. And then the Steelers confirmed a day later that he agreed to the terms. That was last week. Now, Rodgers' participation in minicamp and a post-practice news conference will tie a bow on what has been a very long process. He has 62,952 career passing yards going into his first season as a Steeler. He has 503 passing touchdowns, and this is going to be his 3rd ever NFL team. So shout out to Aaron Rodgers, who will find his way to the Pittsburgh Steelers and will have yet another run before he's all finished up with his time in the NFL. So, I mean, I'm excited for him. I'm excited for the opportunity. It was interesting, though, because when I went and got food, the day before yesterday. So when I went and got food on Saturday, there was this guy that came in to get his food, and he said hello to me. And hi. And then this other guy came in. I didn't realize the guy was wearing a Steelers jacket. And this total stranger went up to him, started talking to him, and they were having an argument over Kenny Pickett and Aaron Rodgers. And by the way, Aaron Rodgers, who's the last one that wore number 8 before Aaron came to Steeler Town, that is Kenny mother freaking Pickett, who wore number 8. So Kenny Pickett's number 8 is now Aaron Rodgers' number 8. So a little interesting there as Aaron Rodgers and Kenny Pickett don the same number. My question to you, Murph, does Aaron Rodgers have the season that Jets fans hope he did? And do you sit there and watch him in Pittsburgh just wondering what could have been? Do you think that there's an opportunity here, a better than, let's say, a 51 to 49% chance that Aaron Rodgers shows us who the Jets hoped he would have been and that he does it somewhere else?
Of course he does. Of course,
saying that
because he's not playing for the Jets anymore. Because he's not playing for the Jets anymore. Right. Of course he's going to show us everything he was supposed to. Because that team not being successful last year, sure, he didn't have a great year, but he still had a pretty darn good year for any Jets quarterback.
Yeah.
If you historically look at the Jets quarterbacks for the last, just since Brett Favre, it was one of the best seasons by a Jets quarterback since 2008. And he played not that good for Aaron Rodgers standards. The defense was atrocious. Awful.
Mm-hmm.
And that was supposed to be their calling card.
Yeah.
It was not completely his fault. The Steelers will be better. The Steelers will go over 500 and they will make the playoffs. Mark my words. Mark it here today at 9:40 a.m. on Monday, June 9th. The Steelers will make the playoffs this season. And I do not think that is a hot take.
Here's the weapons that he has. Aaron Rodgers will have, and by the way, Will Howard's on the team as well that I covered, Ohio State and national champion. So Jaylen Warren is there well, and you have Robert Woods, who's found his way through the NFL and had a lot of longevity here, comes from USC. Here's the funny thing about Robert Woods. I first saw him at MetLife Stadium when USC faced off against Syracuse. Robert Woods was on USC, and Robert Woods came into the NFL, went to Buffalo, has been all around the block, and now he is a Pittsburgh Steeler with Aaron Rodgers. Scotty Miller, who found some success with, actually I should say a good amount of success with Tom Brady when he was a Buck. He is on the Steelers as well. And Kelvin Austin III was drafted by the Steelers a few seasons ago, a guy that I covered and interviewed from the Memphis Tigers in college. And one of my favorite tight ends in the nation, Pat, bring me that Muth, Pat Fryermuth, he's out there still. So they got some good stuff going on here. Jaylen Warren, let's see what that can be. And that backfield, Trey Sermon's there as well. And then DK, Robert Woods, Kelvin Austin III, and Pat Fryermuth. I got a feeling, and you know what, Murph, I agree with you. I asked you the question because I was already feeling it inside. I really genuinely feel like the Steelers are going to make the playoffs, and I feel like Jets fans are going to continue to be in mourning, which I'm very sad about for you guys.
We're always in mourning, dude. All right. Being a Jets fan is such a miserable existence.
It's like a rainy day every day.
I didn't think it was possible
Yeah.
to be for being a fan of a team to be worse than being a Mets fan. The Jets are worse.
But I like the Mets.
The Mets have at least made the playoffs.
I like the Mets.
We've been to the World Series twice this century.
Right.
The Jets have made the playoffs, I think, 3 times or 4 times in this century, and we have not made this. We have not made the playoffs since I was 12. And I'm 27.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't see it in Murph's face.
They have not made the playoffs in 15 years.
I was going to say, you can't see it in Murph's face, but the last time the Jets made the playoffs, he was 12. He's now 62 years old. And it
wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't. This team is awful. Don't get me wrong. When they do finally make the playoffs again, it's going to feel so nice. And it's going to be so sweet to be watching Jets playoff games again. So I don't know how long. I might not. It may not happen until I'm 30. Or 35. Or 50.
Here's the crazy thing. The Jaguars have made the playoffs more recently than the Jets, and my franchise may have the worst offensive line that it's had in many years.
And they picked first overall, what, twice?
And they picked first overall twice. And here's one thing to the Yankee fans.
Or was it 3 times?
Yankee fans knows twice. Yankee fans, don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. But my Diamondbacks did something that you guys didn't do in the last decade, which is beat the Dodgers in the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We beat the Dodgers. Hey.
That is a valid point.
And we beat the Phillies. We beat the teams that couldn't be beat.
And the Mets took them to 6 games. Y'all only took them to 5, so.
Yeah. I'm just, hey.
Yeah, just saying.
The Mets,
and realistically,
the Mets and the Diamondbacks got some bragging rights right now.
And Yankee fans in the comments, feel free to flame me because, yes, I know you took 2 out of 3 from us. But look at the standings right now. I am not worried about playing the Yankees in the postseason. If by some miracle the Mets were able to beat everybody in the National League, the Phillies and the Dodgers, and make their way to the World Series and play the Yankees, I've got no doubt in my mind that we would take care of business. No doubt in my mind. Because the guy that carried you to the World Series last year, remember, Aaron Judge turns into a pumpkin when the playoffs come around. That dude is, if Reggie Jackson's Mr. October, Aaron Judge is Mr. Pole. Home runs, 60 home runs again this year, and win his 3rd MVP, and whatever. He cannot hit in the postseason.
I'm clipping
He
this.
just can't.
I'm clipping this and I'm putting this out. And I'm just
Please do.
I'm gonna put, "Hey Yankee fans, happy Monday." That's all. That's all I'm
Dude,
putting out.
please. I hope you do. And I will take all the flame, all the flack that I'm gonna get for it. But he cannot hit in the postseason. Juan Soto is the reason that team made the playoffs last year. Or that team made the World Series last year, not the playoffs. Judge is the reason they made the playoffs. I will give him that.
I will say Juan Soto's not helping y'all out right now.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Where's your boy Soto? And if you want to tell me, oh, he's not happy in New York, he's not hitting with the Mets, he's not hitting. They're still the best team in the National League. Wait till he starts hitting.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
When he starts hitting,
Right.
they will be not just the best team in the National League, the best team in baseball.
Well, here's the thing, too.
The Detroit Tigers have the best record in baseball right now.
They do.
We just took the season series from the Dodgers.
Well, and here's the thing with the Mets over the last couple of weeks. The Mets started off the season, got into first place in the National League East. Had first place in the National League East, above the Phillies, above the Braves, above the Nationals, above the Marlins, and then have commandingly held it, lost it for a hot second over the past 2 weeks. We're down by like a game, gained it back, and then gained positioning beyond. So you got to think about it like this. The Mets have been the first place team in the NL East the majority of this 2025 season, and at the time that we're talking right now, we're a little over 65 games into the season. So they've commanded the NL East most of the time. When the Phillies just took it over and there was a thought that this could be like one of those shifting of the gears here and maybe the Mets, maybe the Mets lose first place and all of a sudden maybe the Phillies take over for a while. It was so short-lived for the Phillies. The Mets not only bounced back, they took it back. They had the lead, and now they've given themselves a cushion of 4.5 games. So the Mets have shown that when the Phillies strike, they had an immediate response. And so at least through these first 66 games that they played where they're 42-24, the Mets in these last 2 weeks, Murph, lost first place, gained it back, and now have almost a 5-game lead on the Phillies and a 14-game lead on the Braves.
Just to kind of put this into perspective for a minute, the Phillies took the lead. I don't remember what the date was, but they took I think it was a 3-game lead in the division. They might have held the divisional lead for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
They have lost 9 of their last 10 since. And that includes, so this is when this stretch started. They lost the final game in Sacramento to the A's. I'm sorry, no. They get swept by the Brewers. They lose 2 out of 3 to the Blue Jays. And they just got swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates. The team they're talking about that they should trade Paul Skeens because they're so bad and they're not going to support him. The Phillies have done it to themselves thus far. The Mets just took advantage of it. The Mets, nothing has changed for the Mets. Now, granted, they just got through the easy part of their schedule. They played the White Sox. They just played the Rockies for 6 games, for 7 games, and they won all 7.
Yeah.
So they swept the season series with the Rockies. So that's awesome. You should be beating those teams. Now you come back home. You're playing the Nationals and the Rays. You probably need to win at least 5 games this week to be happy. That's what I'm. Well, 2 out of 3 from both. I'm good with that. The Nationals are pesky. If you win 2 out of 3 from them, I am a happy camper. Then you got the Rays. Then you get into probably what is the toughest stretch of the year in terms of what you do reasonably. You go to Atlanta for 3. You go to Philly for 3. You come back to play the Braves for 4. That 10-game stretch is going to tell us a lot about who this team is. If they can take care of business in Atlanta, a place where they historically struggle, they swept the Phillies at home. The Phillies, in terms of their record for the year, home road splits. They are about a 500 team on the road. So are the Mets, and they're 19 and 12 at home. Who's got the best record in baseball at home? Well, that would be the New York Mets, 24 and 7.
Yeah.
The Mets don't lose at home. I would not be shocked if they sweep the Braves at home. But you've got to do well on the road. You've got to, and Philly is not an easy place to play. That is one of the toughest environments to go play or to go play in all of baseball. So that's not a place where you're going to show up and expect to just sweep them. If they do, that is going to put the Phillies in a position where they probably cannot recover from. If we sweep them at home or at the bank, the Phillies season, at least for the division, will basically be over. They will have no chance unless they go on a 2022 Braves type run. And for reference, the 2022 Atlanta Braves won that division. The Mets did not blow it like everybody says they did. The Braves were on a 110 win pace from the beginning of June on. There's nothing you can do about that. You won 101 games and still lost the division. Not your fault. However, this Phillies team cannot hit right now. They just got swept by the Pirates of all teams. Granted, Zach Wheeler just had a kid. He's been on paternity leave.
Yeah.
Happy for him. He comes back and he's pitching, I believe, either today or tomorrow. So they'll be happy to get him back. But they're not hitting. They're not pitching particularly well. It's basically Wheeler and Christopher Sanchez, and I don't know what the heck's going on with the rest of that rotation. Now I'll be at Citizens Bank Ballpark on Friday. A friend of mine's throwing out the first pitch at the game, and I'm really hoping that I can make it down there in time to see it. Speaking of that, I gotta buy my ticket at some point today. But I'm going to that game. I'm going to see them firsthand. I guess you could say I'll be there to scout them before we play them in a week. If that team doesn't start figuring out how to hit, and granted, this team is very hot and cold.
Yeah.
I mean, Schwarber's the most hot and cold player in baseball, I would argue. I mean, when he's hot, he'll hit 10 home runs in 3 weeks. But when he's not, he might be lucky to bat his weight, if not worse. So that division's going to be interesting. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's over because it's only 4.5 games. Yeah. We are in the beginning of June. Anything can happen. 2019, the Mets had the worst month of June ever. Literally, I think they won 5 games all month. Something like that. And they were, I believe, in first place at the time, at the beginning of the month. Or something like that. So we'll see what happens. I love what the Mets are doing. I watched the end of the game. I was listening to the end of the Rockies game yesterday as I was driving home. I was thrilled to see that they won again. They basically went into Colorado and just did what they needed to do. You need to take care of the bad teams. And we'll see. I'm looking forward to the point where we play the Yankees again because we just took the season series from the Dodgers. The big bad Dodgers that nobody can beat. We just took the season series from them. And granted, realistically, they could have easily won all 7 games. They handed them 2 games on a silver platter, and the third one, maybe not, they could have won that game. They could have won 6 of 7 from the Dodgers this year. But the bottom line is, if they tie in the standings, we get home field advantage. That is a massive advantage with what you are seeing with this season. Because the Mets fans are not known for packing the stadium on a random Tuesday night in May. Yeah. And they've been doing that. We got called out by the players, by the owner, to come out and pack the stadium every night. And they've been doing that. I mean, they've been, I believe, and I want to just try to find it, just in terms of attendance, just their attendance numbers.
And by the way, while we're talking, the The poll is up on all of our social media. So you could go to Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, X, the former Twitter, at Call DT, and Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT, and vote now. Who is the better New York based team right now in the season? Who is the better team right now in this moment, in your opinion? New York based teams, who is the better one? The Yankees or the Mets in the 2025 season? You can vote right now. So you could vote in our feed here. You can vote on X. You could vote on Facebook. You could vote on Instagram. Who's the better New York based team right now? That's key. Right now. I want to know the feelings at this point in the season. Who's the better franchise in the 2025 MLB season? Early voting, 100% Mets.
Mm-hmm.
Early
As
voting,
it should be.
Early
As
voting,
it should.
100%.
Look, I know the Yankees won the series in the Bronx. I'm not arguing with that. However, there's 3 more games across town.
Yeah.
I believe in July. I don't remember off the top of my head. I believe they're in July.
I want to do a Subway
It
series
is
at some point.
4th of July weekend.
Oh, nice.
For reference, I'm gonna be on a boat in Lake Wampaupack that weekend, and probably being way too excited, way too into those games, and yeah, if we sweep, which has happened, we swept the season series against the Yankees. God bless you. I believe 2 of the last 3 years. So why not? Then we can say, hey, we won 4 out of 6.
Yeah.
Who's the better team now? But yeah, I think the Yankees. I will give them credit where they deserve it. Their pitching has been excellent. Carlos Rodon has been arguably the best pitcher in the American League, not named Tariq Skubal this year.
Yeah.
Will Warren has come up and pitched very, very well for them. I'm impressed by him. I picked him up in fantasy for reference there. Max Fried is pitching to a sub-2 ERA. He's a guy that I hated pitching. I hated having to face when he pitched for the Braves, and I'm probably not going to like it when we have to face him in New York. But he's been one of the best pitchers in the American League. I'll give them credit where they deserve it.
Yeah.
But outside of Aaron Judge, their lineup hasn't been all that great. Volpe's not having a great year. He's not having a great year. Goldschmidt is hitting, but not really hitting for any power. Bellinger's barely hitting 260. Ben Rice has been decent, but not as much recently. Trent Grisham was great for a month and a half, and now he's kind of turned back into a pumpkin. Jason Dominguez can't field a baseball if his life depended on it. He's barely hitting 240. Not even hitting 240.
Yeah. Jazz
Chisholm just came back from the IL. He's hitting a little bit now, but he was hitting under 200 before he got hurt. This team is not scary. That lineup is not scary past Judge.
Well, let's make a note. Let's make a note here too. As far as home record, like you said, with what the Mets have been able to do at home, they have the best record in Major League Baseball as far as overall at home, 24-7. And you look at the Dodgers, 23-11, the Cardinals, 22-11. You look at the Houston Astros, 22-12. You look at the Tigers, 23-9, which is second best. The Yankees are behind all of them. So the Yankees' home record is 6th best in the nation, 21-12 currently right now. So that is something to definitely eye and pay attention to. And the Mets on the road, we'll see. They're 18-17. They're barely above 500. So they got to improve that as we step forward. With that being said, speaking of stepping forward, we will step forward into our fast break inside of the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, and then we'll make y'all step back and look up because Roman Anthony almost hit a 500-foot home run. We're going to talk about that and more right after this, and we're going to be unveiling these boxes. Murph has no idea what's in them.
I have no clue. He literally wouldn't tell me.
Nothing. So
We were
there's-
talking about it over the weekend. He would not tell me. So I am finding out as soon as you guys are.
So live, we're going to do the box unveiling, proudly presented by GG Cards and Breaks. The only person that knows a little bit, but he doesn't even know if I got them. He just knows a few of the cards because I asked a question about them. Josh Gideon, the owner of GG Cards and Breaks on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. He knows maybe a couple that are inside of this and then this giant long box here. The only people that know the contents of this box for sure, Joey, my big brother, and myself. You're going to find out what we already know coming up here in hour number 2, and I cannot wait to share it with you. It is the biggest lot that I have ever brought home, and it will be definitely on display for the next GG Cards and Breaks trade night. That'll be back right after this on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Great Lakes Honda City Studio. Stay with us. Here's a message from Renee from Brian's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York. Open Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and Sundays for brunch.
It's a lot like the way that my mom and dad ran their restaurant. We have put in place a lot of people that are family to us, very similar to how my dad hired people that were family to him. And then the tradition I'm carrying on is a lot of the items that are on our menu are my dad's. And he taught our chefs how to recreate his dishes. So I think that Tommy McInerney, who our executive chef is, to him it is an art. And I think that when he does create a dish, it's not just about making the food taste delicious, which is definitely our priority, but it's an art to him, and it's almost like his canvas on a plate where he just wants the colors to look great, and people love it because he takes pride in that. And Brian and I appreciate that. We want it to obviously look good and taste good. I will tell you, when we opened up, it was 6 weeks before COVID. And what was amazing was the community, our friends and family stepped up, and everybody did takeout. Everybody supported us. Our hearts were just so filled. So to Brian and I, obviously our friends come all the time, and we just have repeat customers in Jamesville, and I think people going to our previous restaurant in Green Lakes are making the trip to come to Brian's Landing to support us. And I mean, I think we have great food and a great atmosphere. So it's very, very important to us.
Head to Brian's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York, where memories have become recipes that are now meals to share with you. Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and on Sundays for brunch. And be sure to come out for live music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here is a special message from Brian Bruno, owner of Servomation Refreshments Incorporated.
I grew up in the family business, had the experience of working for a national food service company with thousands of employees. And as much as I enjoyed the experience I had, there's something about, owning my own company and being able to change the things I saw wrong with the industry firsthand, which is why I moved back to my hometown in Canastota, New York to launch Servomation. It was back in 2007. When we first started the business in 2007, really you didn't find any machines with credit card readers. There was a lack of variety in machines. You got stuck with basically whatever the vending company wanted to sell that day. There was a lot of inefficiencies in the business, and those were all things that we saw as opportunities, both from a customer level to improve and from an operating level to be more efficient. We've really been at the forefront of introducing retail technology into our space. We were doing self-checkout back in 2009 before it really became a national phenomenon. The whole point of it isn't to just improve the customer experience. It's to make it feel more like a retail environment where people don't have to be afraid of what they're buying behind glass. They don't have to be afraid of not being able to see the ingredients of the packages. It was an easy transaction from that standpoint. If we were to reinvent something, we wanted to make sure what we were making looked and felt more like a deli and not like something that you would traditionally see in a vending machine. I was tired of hearing for years the customers say the wheel of death because the vending machine would circle around with the same tuna salad in it. What we wanted to do was it really change the perception of that food. So allowing customers to touch it, allowing customers to feel the weight of it, allowing customers to see the freshness of it, and also the variety of it really helps them change the perception and ultimately the value of what we bring to them. The point of differentiation you have to make is either in value or the quality. And I think on both of those fronts, Servamation has really, in large part, changed that value system for employees. So they no longer have to worry about bringing their food from home or having to leave their desk during the day and rush out to get back in time for their break to end. We're bringing something that they can count on in their break room every day, and they know it's going to be there, they know it's going to be fresh, and they don't have to worry about it being sold out or something that they don't enjoy. We've also heavily invested in flavored water machines, so you can get a glass of water with a fresh piece of fruit in it, along with bean-to-cup coffee machines. So there's not a day that goes by we're not surprised when we get customers that call us and say, we didn't know you could do all this. We're really lucky to have a strong group of dedicated employees. Most of our employees have been with us since inception. They're family to us, and people like doing business with people they like and trust. And I think the same thing goes for employees. In a day and an age where there's a lot of corporations that just look at an employee as a number and don't get to know them, that's just not the way I was raised or how I like to do business. So we're a little old-fashioned. We like getting close to our employees. We like knowing how we can help them. We like knowing how we can improve their lives, adjust their schedules, whatever it may be to help improve their quality of life. And we think in the end that makes for a happier employee. We're fortunate enough to have really grown over the last several years, and from Pennsylvania to Massachusetts to Connecticut, we really do have a strong connection, even though we're not in the rooms every day with these employees. There's not one single employee that we feel like we don't know, and certainly we know they can call us at any time, and they're definitely treated as family to us. I wake up every single day really excited to surprise our customers in a good way. The one thing I can tell you is I think that every one of our employees and every one of our customers will continue to be at the forefront of every decision we make.
Find out how Servomation can help you and your business by going to servomation.com. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
All right, you need to come out here and get yourself the Brooklyn Pickle. I was talking about this with one of my buddies. I was like, yo, there's no better sandwich in the state of New York than the Brooklyn Pickle. And now that I found out that they're going down to North Carolina, we are taking over your taste buds everywhere you are, wherever you're going to be. You need to get yourself out to the Brooklyn Pickle. Pinehurst, you just realized that you found yourself the best sandwich shop that you're ever going to have. This is a glorious moment. It's a blessing to your community. You're welcome. Brooklyn in the house, baby. Go over to the Brooklyn Pickle. You already know what it is.
You heard the man. Head to Brooklyn Pickle Pinehurst on 1788 Old Morgantown Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina. And welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Murph and I are here with you speaking on Major League Baseball, and we are going to be unveiling the boxes of cards that I brought home, the biggest lot that I have ever brought in. And I am so excited about this, and I'm happy I got to do it with my big brother Joey. So very much appreciate the fact that we got to do this thing together, and I'm about to unveil it, but not before we tell you this. which is the Red Sox prospect Roman Anthony, hit a 497-foot home run. This is insane. AAA Worcester, spelled Worcester, is actually Worcester. I learned that because one of my old roommates... Worcester.
From Boston?
Freaking Worcester. It's like Ted. Worcester. And so Worcester, freaking Dunkin' Donuts, I got to make sure I don't swear. But because, they swear. But Worcester is where he got it from. Worcester. Worcester. That is the AAA Worcester. Did it on Saturday night. 21-year-old put the Woo Sox. I love that. Put the Woo in Woo Sox. So put the Woo Sox ahead 9-4 in the 8th inning when he had a 91.1 mile per hour sinker that came to him from Carlos Romero, and he sent it deep over the right center field wall, a drive that left his bat at 115.6 miles per hour. So big time shout out and a welcome to Lily. Yeah, hi Lil. Hi, baby girl. My dog likes to come in the studio from the office sometimes here. So this was the longest home run in affiliated baseball this season, according to StatCast. Anthony said, quote, got it and didn't really miss it, so it felt great, end quote. Woo Sox manager Chad Tracy said, quote, that ball was murdered, end quote. In the majors in 2025, only one home run has traveled over 475 feet. That was a 484-footer hit by Mike Trout, which I actually mentioned here because Papa Joe is a big fan. He did that against the Giants on April 19th. Now, and since StatCast started tracking in the major leagues in 2015, only Nomar Mazara, 505 feet in 2019, Giancarlo Stanton, 504 in 2016, CJ Cron, 504 in 2022, and Kristen Yelich, 499 feet in 2022, have hit longer big league home runs than Anthony did on Saturday night. A second-round pick in the 2022 amateur draft, Anthony is batting .290, 10 home runs, 29 RBIs at 57 games this season. He has 2 grand slams already. So Roman Anthony, the Sox need you, buddy, because the separation is there inside of the American League East. 497-foot slam. Murph, your thoughts?
I mean, my thoughts are, I would say less on the home run and more on him as a prospect.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the main reason why the Red Sox are holding him back is mostly because they don't have very high expectations for themselves this year. Yes, they went out and got Garrett Crochet in the offseason. Yes, they made some moves, but they're not exactly coming out here and having this amazing season. Yes, they just took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. Were they at home? No, in New York. How about that? Yes, they just took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees in New York. But they're not exactly coming out here and, lighting the world on fire. Yeah. We had the controversy with Rafael Devers in the offseason when they brought in Alex Bregman to play third base. I won't, I'm the third baseman and such. Now he plays DH. Yeah. Bregman gets hurt. No, I'm not going to go play first base. And, he's after having a horrendous start to the season, he's been, decent. He's hitting .280 with 14 home runs. Jarren Duran has been okay. Only 4 home runs, but lots of runs scored and runs batted in. Trevor Story, Willie Abreu, another one of the big prospects, Christian Campbell's had a good start, has a decent start to his career. And then Alex Bregman, who is going to be out with a quad injury, and he's starting to ramp it up. Hopefully they get him back soon, but there's not exactly a whole lot to be that excited about with the Red Sox other than Garrett Crochet. I mean, Garrett Crochet has been great, but the rest of their pitching staff has not been good. They brought in Walker Buehler. He's been terrible. Brian Bayo has barely pitched to a sub-4 ERA. He's been just okay. Tanner Houck has been horrendous, giving up 11 runs in a game twice. So he's not been good. Lucas Giolito has not been good. This is not a team that is expecting success. So my guess, at a timeline for him to be called up. And this is very different than Jack Caglione with the Royals. The Royals are still going to be in it. They are a team that was expecting to be in contention this year. They're a couple games over 500. They called them up because they wanted to bring up a spark. Boston's not going anywhere. The Americans don't sleep on the Twins and the Guardians and the Royals. The Mariners are in there. Whoever doesn't win the division, whether it's Seattle or Houston, the other team's going to be involved in that.
Yeah.
It's packed. Boston might just be thinking, hey, let's try to win. Let's see how it goes at the deadline. There's a decent chance that they move on from Jarren Duran at the deadline. There's a decent chance they move Walker Buehler at the deadline. There's a decent chance they move a lot of guys at the trade deadline. They're being talked about as a seller. And it wouldn't shock me if they do. So that would be around the time I would expect to see Roman Anthony. Would be probably around the mid to late July, like around the trade deadline. Or maybe they bring him up at the beginning of July, late June, beginning of July, and see if he does bring a spark. Yeah. If he comes up and he's great, then they can buy at the deadline instead of sell. But I think they're kind of taking a page out of the Orioles book from last year with Jackson Holliday. They saw what Jackson Holliday was when he first came up. He was still raw. He was not ready to hit major league pitching. So much so that he got sent back down to AAA. Now, granted, when he came back up, he was great, and he's had a decent start to this year. He's been, not amazing, but he's been a good player.
Yeah.
I think they want to avoid that. I think more and more teams are rushing their stars to the big leagues and seeing them struggle. It's happening all the time.
Well, it's like the quarterback in the NFL. Nobody wants to truly, typically you don't want to start your quarterback, even if it was your number 1 or number 2 overall draft pick. You don't want to start them right away. You want to give them time. What could Trevor Lawrence have done with time? Peyton Manning struggled. I think the team won 1 game that year when Peyton Manning was a rookie with the Colts. So time is yes, there's the hype and they're supposed to be good and all this stuff, but think about how long it took, Strasburg, they to bring him up. Bryce Harper spent time. Both of these guys came through Syracuse. And so the mentality is like, oh, Harper, he's 18 years old. This guy's like the best 18-year-old we've ever seen, he needs to be up. And he still comes through Syracuse. Strasburg still took some time in Syracuse. These guys have to take time. They have to go through being ready and getting prepared to go up to the major leagues, and you don't want to take them so early. And I understand that teams need help, but do keep in mind the Boston Red Sox just took 2 of 3 and won the series against the Yankees. So, the Red Sox are still doing some good things. They're beating one of the best teams in baseball right now. They beat them 10-7 and last night 11-7, and those games were on the road in New York. And so they only lost the first one 9-6. So there are some things that the Red Sox are doing, and it's going to take some time for these guys to come up. I know everybody wants to see their prospects. They all want to get into it right away, but you have to provide time. And as much hype is there, I've never been a man of hype. I've been a man of show me what you can do it, don't just say it. And, hype doesn't mean anything to me. When I go to practice, I've had people ask me before, like, everyone's hyping up this wide receiver. Everybody's talking about him except for you, Dan. So either they know everything and you know nothing, or you know something. And I'm like, this guy was dropping passes. He showed me nothing in practice. He ends up being the 6th wide receiver on the team. And then he fades away and just kind of disappears from the team. And it's no offense to him. I was watching practice and I wanted him to succeed. I want all the guys to succeed. It just didn't happen for him. But everybody wanted to know, or I shouldn't say everybody, but a bunch of these internet gurus wanted to know why I was the only one not talking about this guy. And I wasn't talking about this guy because I was physically watching him play. And guys are going to, and girls are going to have to go through and build up and get ready for things, right? Not everyone is going to translate perfectly, and that's a needle in a haystack. Some of the best players we have ever seen in professional sports struggled when they came into a major of anything. be it baseball, be it football, be it soccer, be it basketball, whatever it may be. It took them time to get to where they are. And so, Roman Anthony, enjoy your time in AAA, enjoy your time with the Woo Sox, and hopefully when you come up to Boston, you're coming up to a team that's vying for something. If not, then hopefully you can help them do it. Somebody who's not vying for anything except for more trouble is Wander Franco, who has now found more trouble. Tampa Bay Rays shortstop Wander Franco, who's on trial right now for charges that include sexual abuse of a minor, was charged yesterday with illegal possession of a handgun. Here we go. Franco.
Anybody thinking this dude is going to come back and play Major League Baseball again is a fool.
But the thing is
this dude's done.
He's still marked as a Tampa Bay Rays shortstop. He is still under contract. Franco was arrested November 10th in San Juan de la Maguana after an altercation in a parking lot. No one was injured during the fight. The gun, which was a semi-automatic Glock 19, was found in Franco's vehicle, according to a statement from the Dominican Public Prosecutor's Office. The gun was registered in the name of Franco's uncle, prosecutor said in a statement. After the arrest, Antonio Garcia Lorenzo, one of Franco's lawyers, said that because the gun was licensed, quote, there's nothing illegal about it, end quote, but it was licensed to somebody else. Prosecutors requested that Franco stand trial on the gun charge. When reached by ESPN on Sunday night, the Rays said they had no comment. Franco is 24 years old. His trial in a sexual abuse case involving a girl who was 14 years old at the time of the alleged crimes is ongoing. The charges in that case include sexual abuse of a minor, sexual and commercial exploitation against a minor, and human trafficking. Wow, if only America could go after human traffickers the way the Dominican Republic is. According to prosecutors, Franco kidnapped the girl for sexual purposes and, quote, sent large sums of money to her mother, end quote. Franco, who is on supervised release, faces up to 30 years in prison if convicted. He was playing his third major league season when his career was halted in August 2023. And it was actually right after I had met and interviewed him, which was very, very strange. Now, Franco agreed to an 11-year, $182 million contract in November 2021. He's currently on the MLB's restricted list. I want to applaud the Dominican Republic for having a trial against human trafficking and sexual abuse of a minor. If this ends up being true and this ends up being a real case and this did happen, then I appreciate the fact of you taking one of these people off the streets to the United States of America. How dare you allow human trafficking? They have said that if things continue the way that they are, the human being will be trafficked more than any drug or gun, and it is the only thing that you can traffic in the world that you can use multiple times to traffic. So I will say this once, and I will say this clearly. Please, if you know of anyone that is involved in any way, shape, or form in human trafficking for sexual or any other purposes, please go to the authorities. Please make sure that you say something. If you see it at an airport, if you see it at a train station, a bus station, at a mall, or anywhere, if you see something, say something. We cannot live in a world where you walk by an alley, or you walk by a car, or you walk by whatever, and you say, thank God it's not me. Thank God it's not someone I know. If someone is being mistreated in some way, shape, or form, please say something. Human trafficking needs to be stopped. And if it involves people in politics, if it involves people in Hollywood, if it involves people that have millions and billions and trillions of dollars, I don't care. And you know what? I'll say this, and I will also say this clearly. If you get away with it on earth, you will never get away with it in heaven. So God sees everything, God knows everything, and no one can hide forever. So I will say this, and I hope that Facebook allows me to continue to air this and doesn't flag it in any way, shape, or form. Human trafficking is wrong. Sexual trafficking is wrong. And what we are doing to people of any and all ages, including children, is a despicable, disgusting, satanic ritual that needs to be stopped. So I will ask you, and I will ask you clearly, if you are involved in human trafficking, turn yourself in. If you know someone who's involved, turn them in, and let us stop this right now, because Wander Franco is a sacrificial lamb, but the reality of it all is there's probably thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people that need to be brought up on charges as well, and it's time that we start doing it. With that being said, we're going to take one final step aside. We will take a fast break. When we come back, we will unveil these cards, but let it be known and let it be clear and let it sink in while we're on this fast break. If you know anything, say something. Human trafficking is an absolutely deplorable, disgusting thing to do. There is no human being that should ever be used against their will for anything. And the fact that it happens, the fact that we talk about it, and the fact that Hollywood doesn't stand against it, I wonder why. The fact that politicians, as a by and large in Congress, don't stand against it, I wonder why. I'm not saying anybody, I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to put anybody out there and say that someone's doing it. We do not personally attack here. I'm just asking a question. Why is the federal government quiet? Why is Hollywood quiet? If it's a problem in America, why are the people with all the money not saying anything? I'm just asking. Because I can tell you the people that talk about it because it's few and far between. I can tell you that Tim Tebow talks about it. I believe Ryan Reynolds and his wife, Blake Lively, they've spoken about it. But I can count a few people on my hand. Why are we not discussing human trafficking in America? Why are we not discussing the most heinous and disgusting crime next to rape and murder? Why are we not talking about our children? I'm asking. The conversation needs to start. And we need to stop it. And we need to stop acting like if it doesn't happen to me, well, then that's okay. A sin against one of us should be a sin against all of us. And this country focuses on tweets, and this country focuses on filters and on shaking butts on Instagram and focuses on TikTok dance videos, but we don't focus on the fact that a 10-year-old might be abducted today and used for sex. I know it's not the attractive thing to think about, and it's not the thing to gain likes and to gain followers, but you're either trying to get to heaven or you're not. We need to start making things trend that actually matter. Let's take a step aside.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315 487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks comes to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. They are your one-stop sports card and trading card shop. You will find them Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6 and Sundays from 10 to 5. GG Cards and Breaks. There with hockey, soccer, basketball, football, baseball, Disney Lorcana, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and more while supplies last. They just brought in a bunch of new product, and they're doing the NBA Player of the Day. Don't miss out on that. It's something really cool at Panini, and you can win prizes throughout the month of June over at GG Cards and Breaks. They have all the supplies you need, autograph cards, potential one-on-one cards. They have celebrity cards, Marvel cards. They got a bunch of graded cards in there, singles, packs, boxes. You never know what you're going to find, and it's like being a big kid every day, and who doesn't want to be a big kid? I'm a firm believer that the best adults are the ones that keep their kids' spirit alive. So head over to GG Cards and Breaks. Do that today, 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life, Murph and I are here with you on a Monday. I'm back in the studios after spending a couple weeks broadcasting down in the great state of Florida. And so you know that that is the second home of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, with shows like Do Diz with Dan and Super Powered Pop that you'll find down there as well as my co-host who hails from St. Augustine and Two Mics No Filter with Miss Andrea. And of course, Comic Book Trails, which is all over the country, which you can also find going down there sometime soon. So a lot of great stuff happening with Dan Tortora Broadcast Media in our second home of Florida. And now it's time from that second home of Florida to finally unveil to you what I got from my big brother Joey. It is the biggest lot that I have ever bought, and I came home with all of it in my carry-on to make sure that it was all safely secured. A lot of it is top-loaded, and of course we got it sleeved as well. So it's in order of how I wanted to show you to it as we get bigger and bigger. So the drum roll continues to go louder and louder. So I got a few cards here that I'll just show initially, and I'll kind of run through these pretty quick from this first box. But we have a Juan, I just like this, Juan Soto, the Masterpiece Refractor. I thought it was pretty cool. We got a little insert of the Heart of the City for Bryce Harper. I got this from my man Jerry. It's a Phillies card. That was from our box break. And then we got some of these 3-player cards, which they used to do for the NBA, which I thought was pretty cool. So I picked those up. Got a little Pudge, nice refractor there, an orange and green parallel. Got a Goldschmidt card that's all cut, so you could see how uniquely it's cut there. I got a DeGrom. We got some red, white, and blues that we pulled in as well. And then we got, I never got these before, the Lights Out series. Joey's got a bunch of the Lights Out. So I was able
Those are interesting.
I got Max Scherzer from Optic, Jacob DeGrom, and Mariano Rivera from that. Then we got a hot sauce of Juan Soto. And then, just pulling in some rookies and some Bowman first, like a Cam Sullivan. And then I got some of these, and I was going to ask Murph about these because he knows better than I do. But he had a bunch of prospect cards, so I pulled a bunch of these. We got Christian Scott, go.
Ooh.
Go Gators. So we got a Christian Scott. We have an Eric Silva. These are all prospect ones as well. Justin Henry Malloy.
It's a good one.
We have,
I like the Prism College stuff.
Yeah. And then we got the rookie debut of O'Neal Cruz. We have Andy Thomas from Baylor. We have Ryan Webb from Georgia. We have
Georgia.
Yeah, Robbie Martin. So we got some Robbie Martin stuff. And then we got Alvarez, Francisco Alvarez, his introduction card here.
I might need that Christian Scott card, dude.
I'm saying. And we got Jordan Wicks. So yeah, I was going through the prospects trying to pull some good stuff because he's got a ton of them. I'm going to have to go through it again. And then I got a Trey Sweeney. This is from our box break. This is a rock star rookie. I got this really cool cut rookie card here. It's cut like a pennant. So
Nice little die cut there.
Yeah, so we got a Kobe Mayo here. And then I got some of my football ones, and I'll just go through these quick. I got the Prestige here of Garrett Williams, who came from Syracuse. I got my guy Tank Bigsby, who's on the Jaguars. I got a Rashee Rice with the red diamond, Tajay Spears rookie card, who I covered at Tulane. And then I got Chase Brown, his rookie card as well. Also, some of these that I got because he kept them in such great shape are for grading. Zay Flowers, Rashad White, Drake London, those are all rookie cards. And then Quinshawn Judkins here, who we know found his way beyond Ole Miss here. And this is a Bowman first, but Quinshawn Judkins over to Ohio State. So we have him. Donovan Edwards of Michigan, the Ramblin' one. And then I was able to get a Jordan Whittington, who had his rookie season last season with the Rams. The Chargers. And then Jake Hayner.
Right city, wrong team.
What'd you say?
Right city, wrong team.
That's right. And then we got Puka Nakua's rookie card, Will Levis's rookie card, as well as Diamond red refractors here. And then Jalen Carter, Dorian Thompson Robinson, his Bowman first. Mason Smith from the Jaguars, his Bowman's first. Stetson Bennett, his Bowman's first. And then rated rookies of Audric Esteem, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Eric All, Terrion Arnold got his rookie card as well. Sean Tucker from Syracuse. Got a bunch of guys here that I pulled from my box break. And got Troy Franklin, got Chop Robinson, who came from Penn State, who's now a Miami Dolphin. So those are all parts of this initial box. And some of these came from the box break. So some of them were mine because mine were the football, his were the baseball. And then some I took from him that were baseball. I got a Brett Favre Conductors here. Topps is a year away of getting the rights back for football, but they've wasted no time getting you acclimated to their product. And they've done some great things. And they've done some great angles, like with this card of Jonathan Brooks, his rookie card, where you can't even tell that the logos aren't there. So I got a Barry Sanders refractor. I like that. And then, got a bunch of rookies from that, which I can kind of just spin through here quick. And I don't think there's really too much to write home about. It's in the other box. So with that being said, that's the initial box of some cool things, some cool inserts and whatnot. And I also have, I forgot to show these. I got a Juan Soto rookie debut.
That's a good one.
And then I got a Zach Neto rookie. I have Jonathan Aranda, the pink parallel for the Rays. I have Nolan Gorman's rookie, Donnie Sands rookie card. So I got a bunch of rookies at Bowman first here that I pulled from his De Los Santos rookie, DJ Hur's rookie, Gunnar Henderson's rookie, Rhett Lauda. So I got some of this stuff. I just love the name. And then I love this name. Speaking of names that I love, Juan Bin Cho got his Bowman first.
Sure.
Got some refractors here.
What a name there.
And then we have William Bergola. Got his rookie card, his Bowman first for the Phillies. Roseman Verdugo's Bowman first. And yeah, just a bunch of Bowman first stuff here. And then one of the guys here, Pete Crow Armstrong, who's having a nice start. His Future Stars card brought that in.
That's a good one.
Got that one. Got a bunch of Josh Jung rookie cards. This is one of them. But there's other ones that are Gunnar Henderson again. But I got a Jazz Chisholm on the Miami Marlins. And then I have Jace and Josh Jung, both of their rookie cards. So there's Jace. Some of these have to be top loaded. And then Brooks Lee and Morlando and so on and so forth. So we got a bunch of stuff here, a bunch of rookie cards that were in this initial box. Now it's time to get to the real. Okay. And the
good stuff?
the real and the long box, these are separated out. And I spent some time last night making sure that in our reveal here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora of my giant lot that I got from my brother Joey, proudly presented by GG Cards and Breaks, it is now time for me to give you the real of this. So here's the long box reveal of what we got. And I got to start, and make sure I start on the correct side here. Yep, this is the side I'm going to start on. All right. So, this is what we have to start, and we got some really good stuff. I'm going to start with my Diamondbacks here. So, I got my Lawler prospect card. I got my Brandon Pfaadt rookie. I got a bunch of Lawlers that came out in here. So, the Bowman Chrome Spotlight. I got the Drew Jones stuff. I got more Drew Jones stuff. These are cool, and I'm really excited that I got these. So both of them are refractors, but one of them is the Christmas-looking refractor, and it's Zach Gallen, but it's Zach Gallen batting.
That's cool.
So I thought those were pretty cool. As soon as I saw them, I'm like, I got to have it. Lourdes Gurriel. I got a bunch of Corbin Carroll rookie cards that I'm now adding to the family. Alec Thomas, Gabriel Moreno. Some of these I doubled up on just because I wanted them. Seth Beer, Nelson, Ketel Marte, is just a regular card. Dominic Fletcher, some more Corbin Carroll stuff. Drew Jones, Corbin Carroll. And then I got this one just because he's part of the family now. But Corbin Burns, it's not a rookie, but it's just a Burnsy. Dominic Fletcher's rookie card, another Moreno.
Sucks for him, though. He's going down with TJ.
I know. And then I got a Jake McCarthy. This is a really cool refractor.
I've shown you that.
Which one is that? Oh, is that Burns?
That's Corbin Burns, yeah.
Burnsy. So then I got Ricardo Yan, which is my last one here. Then I put these aside. These are my Mets that I ended up getting in the lot. Not all my Mets, because some of them I'm saving. But I got a bunch of Brett Beatty's because I continue to believe in Beatty, and Beatty we trust. So I got a bunch of Beatty rookies, more Beatty rookie. Got a ton of Beatty's. The first 5 cards here are Beatty's. Alvarez rookies. More Brett Beatty stuff. Pete Alonso's Diamond Kings. And then Brett Beatty. And then I have my Kodai Senga Chrome rookie. So I pulled in.
There we go.
Got some. I wanted to get my Beatty's, my Sengas, and my Alvarez. And then I got a little optic blue refractor of Mr. Judge. I got the red, white, and blue of Garrett Cole. And then here come my Yankees. I got a bunch of Rafael Flores and then Perez. These are Bowman first. Just a ton of rookies, and I don't have to go through all of them, but I will go through some of my Yankee stuff that I got here. So we got, here they are. So these are my Anthony Volpes. So I have my Volpe regular and my Volpe Chrome that I pulled in here. I got my Volpe rookie card that's in the top loader. I got another Volpe to the national anthem that we got an Action Stars refractor rookie card of Volpe. This one's nice. This is the crazy looking refractor of Volpe that I was able to get. And like I said, all these cards are in really good shape. So I got some of these base cards too to be graded. Ben Rice's rookie that we pulled in our box break. And then here's my football rookies. Junior Seau's rookie card here. May he rest in peace. Got 2 Anthony Richardsons, the first card of his ever printed, and the rookie card because I'm going to continue to believe in hope. I have this card already, but I wanted another Andre Sisco. This one I pulled.
Jet?
Yes, now a Jet. I got my Marshawn Lloyd. I pulled this one. It's a really nice rookie card of Marshawn Lloyd.
That's a cool looking one.
That one I got. That one could be worth a few bucks here. I think I had this card. Now I got another one. It's the green refractor of Bobo Nix. Trey Benson's rookie card that is laser refractor here that I just pulled from Topps, which I really like that. I love this card. It is this crazy spider web looking Donovan McNabb refractor. I just absolutely...
That's cool.
It's the last card that I pulled in our Topps box break that you can go back and watch in our inaugural episode of Cuts and Cards. The best one I pulled, rated rookie Chrome, Optic Jaden Daniels.
Ooh, grade that.
And this one's in really good shape. Yes.
Grade that if it looks good. Grade that like ASAP.
Yeah, no, that
one. PSA stuff is just not coming back.
Yeah, so that's one to go. And then here's
It might not be back before you might not have that back before the season starts. That's how slow they are right now.
And here's some Murph appreciation moments. We're going to see how Murph reacts to what he's about to see, because as I said, in this reveal of everything I bought in my lot from my big brother Joey down in Florida, it gets better and better. Here's something that my old heads will appreciate, as well as my baseball junkies like Murph. I got a couple of these Tommy John cards. And these,
I love that.
Murph, these cards are in almost like this one is in almost perfect shape. This one right here.
That's 1968.
This card,
It's a little off center, if anything. Yeah.
yeah, it's a 1968 here. The corners are good. And then here's another one that we got here.
Pre Tommy John surgery.
Yes, and here is I think, is this the rookie one of Mr. Strawberry?
Nice. 83.
This is 83. Yeah. Darryl Strawberry. Is it 83?
Pete Alonso's 9 home runs away from breaking his Mets home run record.
Then we have draft pick here of Manny Ramirez.
Nice.
A little old. Got an older. It's not a rookie, but it's a Cal Ripken.
I think it's 85, 84 Fleer.
This one is 82. I think it's 82.
If that's eight,
Wait, is this?
if that's 82, that might be a rookie.
Wait, hold on. Let me look.
What year does the stats say?
His stats say 81 and 82 Orioles.
So then it would be 83 then.
So yeah. So
The
then,
second year.
Then this
Second
is
year, still a good card.
Don Mattingly. We got some other ones here. Yeah, that was a good Cal Ripken. Oh, these are cool. So I got a ton of these. On the Yankees, Mr. Ken Griffey Sr.
Oh, I love that.
Then this, little did people know, little did I know, this is in great shape too. Deion Sanders as a Yankee.
I've had a couple of those, yeah.
So Deion.
That's technically his rookie, I think.
Yeah. And then I got first round draft pick, rookie card of Mike Mussina.
Yep.
Got that one. Got the rookie card. Hold on. Let me make sure that this one is in here right. The rookie card of Mr. Kurt Schilling with the Orioles, who won with the Diamondbacks. Mo Vaughn's rated rookie.
Oh, Mo Vaughn.
Major League
Bobblehead of him sitting somewhere.
Major League debut of Sammy Sosa. Got another Ken Griffey Sr. Got a Gaylord Perry. Got a Chipper Jones rookie. And so those are my old cards here. Now I have a numbered to 250, a Juan Soto numbered card. These are some of my numbereds. This is a Jake McCarthy. He had a ton. I don't know. Joey gets a ton of Diamondbacks. So this is a blue refractor numbered to 199 of Jake McCarthy Diamondbacks. Then I got a numbered Miguel Castro to 999. Never seen one to 999. There's one right there. Then I have a season ticket red refractor numbered to, what's this one numbered to? 199 of Luis Gonzalez, who hit that game, who had the game-winning hit in the 2001 World Series for the Diamondbacks. And then here we go with rookies that I may get graded. So we have some Adley Rutschman coming through the pipe here. I got to move these over. Let me move this. Oh, goodness me. There's so many cards. Okay. Adley Rutschman. Gunnar Henderson's rookie. Got more Adley Rutschman rookies. These are all in good shape. We got this cool drawing of
that's cool.
Of Adley Rutschman. I have
That's Gunnar, I think.
Oh no,
was that Gunnar or was that Adley? It looks like Gunnar.
Oh yeah, this was Gunnar. Sorry. And then I have the pink parallel of Adley, his rookie card.
Nice.
Then we have Michael Harris II, his drawing. And the backs of these cards
the drawing things are sweet.
Yeah.
I've never seen those before.
Then we got another rookie card chrome of Michael Harris II. Then we have an Allen and Ginter Michael Harris II. Then we have a Javier Baez rookie. And here is where we start getting into it. We have a prospect refractor of Ellie De La Cruz.
Okay.
We have
nice.
Bobby Witt's Bowman Chrome.
That's a good one.
Of his rookie. We have Bobby Witt, Bowman, or Tops here as well.
Bowman Platinum. That's
Bowman
a good set.
Platinum. We have the Prism rookie of Bobby Witt. We have an Enfuego insert. Then this is the one that was worth the most when I looked him up. It's the Mosaic Blue Refractor of Bobby Witt's rookie.
Even with non-licensed, that's actually interesting. That's the most valuable one.
Yeah. And we got the 2 rookies here of Josh Jung. So some other ones here. We got a Dylan Cruz rookie.
Solid.
We have Ronald Acuna rookie cards.
Those are good. The rookie debut Chrome is a good one. It was a very good one, actually.
Then these kind of look like they're case hits. They kind of look like, I think when I was talking to Josh from GG Cards or Breaks, he said that baseball tried to do something with this, with the Unleashed refractors. So I have, 2 of them are refractors, one of them is a base one. But it's the Unleashed Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, and Mike Trout, and it has a lion behind each of them.
That looks like it's got to be a case hit.
Yeah, I don't think they are, though, but they're really cool cards. And then I got Alex Bregman's helmet. It's just a couple buck card.
That's cool.
But I got these, which are really cool. These are the patch cards, Ketel Marte. I got a bunch of these in the series, Pete Alonso's.
Nice.
And these are worth like a couple bucks. Vlad Guerrero. Some of these are worth, this one's worth the most. The Shohei Ohtani one.
Naturally.
And then I got a Bryce Harper one as well. And I got the rookie card of Adley Rutschman with the Oriole. So that's a good one. Then this is one of the cool patch cards. This is Mandy Bell, who's a reporter. So I got her patch card. And then this is where we get into it for all the stuff. So these are patches now. This is Joey Gallo's dual patch of his rookie. Is this his rookie? No. I don't. Well, it might be. So this is the dual patch for Joey Gallo. This is the Father's Day Juan Soto, which I have the Corbin Carroll. Here is an Pudge Rodriguez picture or a piece of his jersey there, and I just like Pudge. And then this is the Baseball World Cup Gus Vanderbrink, and this is a crazy looking refractor. It's got like circles and other pieces to it, and it's a
That's cool looking.
Dual patch. And then I got Yiddy Cap, Wilmer Flores, and Tyler McGill. They're giant white patches. So you got a McGill in there. And then I got the postseason Adrian Beltre postseason logo patch for Beltre.
Nice.
And then I got a 4-patch numbered to 99 Sandy Alcantara card. And here's where we get into it. This is where we get into it. We got a few left. So this is a Curtis Mead 19 out of 49, and this is a patch with the stripe, which is pretty cool. And then this is one of the ones that was worth the most before we get into the rest of them here. This is a Chrome rookie card refractor patch for Anthony Volpe.
Sweet.
That was one that was worth something here. And then I got another piece of a Yankee stripe with David Cone. I just love David Cone. So I got David Cone. And then from there, here's my autos. My Brandon Pfaadt rookie auto.
Sweet.
And this one's numbered to 199. Got my Drew Ellis Diamondback rookie chrome auto. My exotic. Make sure this is. Let me put this in there like that. So I got my exotic Jordan Lawler. This one's really cool. So this is, I think this is from, is this from Leaf? This is from Leaf. This is 4 of 4 in the world, and it's an exotic refractor auto.
Nice.
Of Lawler. I got my Lourdes Gurriel rookie signed. Obviously, he went from the Blue Jays and is now on Diamondbacks. Dustin Harris to 199 patch card of Future Threads, and it's an orange parallel, which I thought was cool. Here's a Future Threads of a piece of Josh Young's jersey. Josh Young's. And then we have Taj Bradley here. I just liked it because Tampa Bay and TB for Taj Bradley. It's a rookie refractor.
Yeah.
And then I have
good pitcher.
Wilman Diaz auto. And Dodgers, this is a really cool autograph. He like signs out his whole name, and this is Luis Rodriguez. I have 2 of them.
Sweet.
And here's one for you, Murph. A Bowman First, purple parallel, numbered to 250, autographed, Grant Hartwig of the Mets.
That's a good one.
Little love there. Then we have, these are cool because these are 2 numbered cards. It's the same card, the same refractor, but they're numbered lower and lower. And the only ones I think I found online were higher numbered. So this is pretty crazy. I have on the Mets a Jacob deGrom to 150.
Okay.
And a Jacob deGrom to 50.
Ooh.
So we got those 2 on the New York Metropolitans.
Those are good.
And here's the end of the lot. Here's the end of what I bought here. Now these are just cool, and this one looks like she has a Havanese. So this is Captain Sandy Yawn with her puppy. So I have Captain Sandy. Cool. I got my girl Dawn Staley. I got my man Kev Hart. and then this is one of the first cards that I saw, and I was like, bro. Oh, and I also have Run DMC. So I have Run DMC
nice.
card, the little card. Now these are the one. This is one that I saw, and I was like, holy crap! This is what made me. There was a few cards he showed me that made me want to look at the entire lot. This was one of the cards he showed me that said, I am going to go through this stuff. This is the refractor auto of Jackson Chourio.
Ooh, I want that.
This is in really.
That's a good card.
It's in fantastic.
I mean, it's not his first Bowman, but it's still from 2022 Bowman. So like that's still one of his earlier prospect autos. That's a really good card.
Yeah, and this is an on-card auto.
That's megabyte. Is that numbered or no?
This one is this one?
If it is, it would be numbered to 150.
This one is not numbered.
Okay.
So there's Jackson Chourio. So save the best for last. And here is where we have some fun. So I'm going to show you these first. I got one of these. I pulled one of these cards, but he had the Shohei Ohtani ace card refractor.
Sweet. So just so you know, if that Chourio looks as good as it does and it grades well,
yeah,
it could be up to as much as $250 or $300.
Yeah,
that's a nice card.
I was looking at it at around $200-something card. So now mythical. I got a mythical insert of Shohei. This looks like the old football ones. This is Topps black and gold here, refractor of Shohei.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a Shohei on the Dodgers. These are really cool. These are medallion cards. And these are from the Topps update series of 2023. And they're the they're the most valuable player cards. So National League MVP and American League MVP of Shohei Ohtani and Bryce Harper.
That's sweet.
The Shohei card is all over the place. It's like $4, it's $50, but so Bryce Harper and Shohei, both of those cards worth something. And then this card was one of the most expensive cards that I got that he had.
I'm sure I believe it.
This is a Shohei Ohtani All-Star Stitches relic card from the All-Star game.
His relic stuff is worth some money.
And finally, last but not least, not one, but 2 in really good shape that need to be graded, Shohei Ohtani rookie cards.
Sweet.
So what made me really just jump on the whole thing are these 3 cards.
I mean, the Chourio is probably the most expensive card of the bunch.
It is.
But it is. That's still a pretty good lot.
Yeah.
That's still a very good lot.
Yeah, so I pulled a bunch of, basically almost everything that I have is rookies. And I got old stuff, I got new stuff, I got the names that people are looking for. I got a bunch of relics, I got a ton of autos, 2 Shohei rookie cards, and a Jackson Chourio on-card auto.
Yeah. A lot of good PC stuff for you, but there's definitely some stuff, there's some stuff that you'll probably be able to sell and flip that'll pay for the lot.
Yeah.
And then you got the rest of the PC stuff basically for free.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I would probably buy that Chourio from you if you wanted to sell it.
Well, it was funny because
but depending on how it looks, I'd probably try to grade it because he's having another solid year.
Yeah. Well, I will say that when I first looked at all these cards, my response to my cousin, to my big brother Joey, my response to him was, I just dropped Run DMC. That's okay. So my response to Joey when I saw the Cheerios, I was like, I know Murph is going to want to check out this card. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we were able.
You knew I was going to.
Yeah, I knew that the Churio would be right up your alley. But yeah, so this is the lot that I got, and I feel like him and I both made out because he got some stuff that he was able to sell, and I feel like we both got to a number that was fair for the both of us, and to bring all of this home and to have all of this here now. And by the way, folks, to now have a plethora of, I got more baseball cards for trade night and for selling that I've ever had in any of the trade nights I've done with GG Cards and Breaks. So that is the lot. That is the unveiling, and I saved the best for last. So Murph, final thoughts on the lot.
I think you did really good, dude. I think there's some cool stuff in there. I mean, obviously, you're more of a fan of the littles than I am. So there's a lot of good, like really nice littles in there that are going to be good for for you to move and for for your collection and everything. I just wanted to make a quick thing here because once I finally get the cards in, I don't know how long it's going to take to actually get the cards that I'm trading for in.
Yeah.
But I made 3 deals on Veriswap just this week.
Yeah, I saw
And the one card I haven't sent out yet, I know you saw it, and I'm taking, well, partly because I agreed to the trade Saturday night, so I haven't been able to put it out yet, is I think I've shown this on the show before. The Jack Caglione, first Bowman autograph, PSA 10. I was able to trade it.
Yeah.
I got what I calculated to be somewhere between $1,200 and $1,300 in value for a card I was trying to get $1,000 for, which I am very happy about. Basically, I was at $960 before the last card that I didn't factor in yet. It's a 1/1 Garrett Wilson rookie auto. I have no clue what it's going to be worth.
Yeah.
My guess is anywhere from like $300 to $450.
Yeah.
I have no idea. It's going to be worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. Maybe I end up just trading it on Veriswap. Who knows? But I'm kind of enjoying my last few hours with this because this is going to get sent out in the mail later today. So that's going to hang around for a little bit. But there's a couple of cool cards that I've picked up recently that I figured I'd show off.
Yeah.
One is this number to 10 A.J. Brown Eagles auto. Oh, hang on. Let me make this look a little better. There we go. Thunderbirds.
Here, this is
A.J.
what I'll do for you. I'm going to lighten you up in our. I have the ability, by the grace of God and technology, to lighten Murph up from my studio. So we're going to go and do that right now. Okay, so Murph, go ahead and show that A.J. Brown again.
There we go.
Oh, now we got you a little darker. Hold on. There we go. Okay, we can kind of see it
There we go.
Okay. Hello,
So
A.J. Brown.
that. We got a college immaculate number to 99 RPA of Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay. Gibbsy.
This isn't a big one, but this is a cool card. I figured I'd pick it up. Number 299 RPA, slightly 2-color patch, an impeccable Dallas Turner of the Minnesota Vikings.
Nice. Thought it was going to be an
Prisms.
Atlanta Falcon. Many people
Yeah.
did.
So did everybody.
Yeah.
Prism Silver, Jaden Daniels. This does not look as good as the one that I sent in for grading, so I will not be grading that one.
Okay.
A Score Nick Bosa auto.
Nice.
We got a Leaf Strange Colors Randy Moss auto. That is number 2 of 10.
Oh, I like Randy.
And then early Michael Jordan Fleer sticker from 1987.
Oh, cool. I like that.
Those are just a few I've gotten recently. I figured I would show off.
Michael Jordan. So
I did see Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, the man, the greatest to ever play the game. By the way,
Yes.
the greatest. And
Take that, LeBron fans.
and if you go and you look at my story on Instagram at Wake Up Call DT, you can very much see my feelings on Michael Jordan very clearly. So you can check those out. By the way, I never had a 101 before, and now I have 3 in my studio. I have the Brian Thomas that I pulled when I was at GG Cards and Breaks from the box that belonged to my good buddy Pete Green, the owner of Mother's Cupboard. And so this one sits and stares at me in the studio right off to the left-hand side. And then my other 101s are my it looks like a record coming out of it, Wanye Morris of Boys to Men. It is a diamond 1 of 1, and you see the 1 of 1 on the back here. And it is his auto of Wanye Morris and the scripted refractor of Thomas Jane, 1 of 1 in the world. And he not only signed Thomas Jane, but he signed the Punisher. And if you put these up next to each other, the one I got signed by Josh Brolin, you can see that they both sign their names. Oh, let me do it like that. They both sign their names, and underneath their names, they sign their characters. So, Josh, you
That's
see
sweet.
Thomas Jane Punisher, which is one that Anthony pulled in a box break after trade night, and I bought it from GG Cards and Breaks. And then you have this one, which is the one that I got myself. I had signed. This is my gold refractor of Thanos that I pulled from a box that my big brother Joey got me for my birthday last year. And it's got the Avengers Infinity War, and he signed it in gold, Josh Brolin. Underneath, he signed Thanos, which mirrors Josh Brolin as Thanos on the bottom. They said that we could have him sign his name or a character's name. When I asked him to sign it, Josh Brolin, as I was standing there, he said, "Do you want me to write Thanos?" And I looked around. I was like, yeah. He's like, "You don't have to." I go, "No, I didn't know you could." So, of course. So he actually gave me 2 signatures for the price of 1. And Josh Brolin was very nice. Very nice guy. So that sits right here. But
So this is that 1 of 1 Garrett Wilson that I have coming in.
That's awesome.
That was in the Caglione trade.
I've
got no clue what I'm going to get for that, if I even sell it, because it's a 1 of 1 of Garrett Wilson. So who knows? I might not even move it. I might just keep it. But knowing me, I'm going to end up trading it because I don't like to have expensive cards in my PC. So I will probably be selling it at some point.
Well, I absolutely misspoke. My first 1 of 1 that I pulled is Brian Thomas Jr. But my first ever 1 of 1 and one of my most prized possessions is the dual signature 1 of 1 of Anthony and Josh from GG Cards and Breaks. That also says Happy Easter. So it's the holiday edition 1 of 1 dual auto, and nobody else, as far as I know, has that. And by the way, my man Curtis Tillman III, he got me this really cool card stand that has my Wake Up Call and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media logo on it. And they're raised logos. So this is really cool. I guess his buddy does them. So those are sitting right there. You can always see it on the side. But that has been my unveiling of the biggest lot that I have ever bought, and brought it from my second home of Florida to my first home of New York, courtesy of my big brother Joey. So I want to thank Joe, and I want to thank you all for being excited about the unveiling of this. But yeah, Murph, I was excited to show you, and then I come home and I'm like, Murph, how'd I do? So, but I felt like I definitely.
I think you did. Well, I don't. I also don't know how much you paid him for him. So, right. But I don't need to know. I don't need to know that. It's just, you picked up some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
So I imagine you're doing pretty good when it comes to, what you'll be able to flip the stuff for, and the stuff that you keep, you'll be happy with. And, I know you like to, you probably keep more stuff than I do. Don't get me wrong. I still buy stuff for myself, but I've kind of come down to like the point where my only real PC stuff is when I buy Piazza.
Yeah.
It's like anytime I buy a Piazza, it goes straight to my PC. I won't sell it, but other than that, like I have a Pete Alonso auto that I pulled out. That 101 that I bought from GG's a couple of years ago, I pulled that out, and I'm going to try and sell it just because I've gotten a couple real nice Pete Alonso autos since, and I figured I'd recoup some money from that one. But it's been fun. I mean, I'm excited that once the calendar turns to July, I can start doing more shows again. We have our show at PNC Field on July 26th. That one I'm very much looking forward to. If you are a sports card vendor, and I know it's a long drive from Syracuse, but if you are a vendor and you would like to do the show, please reach out to me or to my partner CJ. We'll get you on the list. It is going to be a lot of fun. We're on the field, we're in the concourse. There's food, there's drinks, there's whatever you possibly. Concession stands will be open, so they'll be taking care of all that, and it's at the stadium, so it's gonna be pretty darn fun.
Yeah, and that sounds absolutely amazing. Really, I mean, and you should be very proud of that because it sounds like it's going to be an awesome event. I know it will be, and having it on the field is really unique and cool, and that's something that a lot of people can say. This is one that's also sits on my on my left side. My Jazz Chisholm Bowman first. People forget he was a Diamondback before he was a Marlin, and this is a Gem Mint 10 of 10 from PSA.
Anybody remember who he got traded for?
First card ever printed. So.
Do you know who he got traded for?
Chisholm?
Mm-hmm. I'll give you a hint. He's a pitcher.
Oh, my goodness. I'm trying to think. Not Zach Gallen.
Yes, Zach Gallen.
It was Zach Gallen? That was the only thing.
It was Zach Gallen.
That was the only thing that I could have put. That was the only name. I'm like, well, wasn't that guy? When you said pitcher, I'm like, I had two guesses. That was my first. That was, okay, I guess I was right. I thought I was wrong. So, but with that being said, Murph here with us. We're back at the studios. We're back in New York. We're back here with you during our normal times. We thank you for being with us for 2 weeks in Florida, and there'll be more Florida to come, I'm hopeful of, by the grace of God. The current polling continues. Who is the better team right now that's based in New York? The Mets or the Yankees? The Mets still lead 75% to 25%. Vote.
Damn right we do.
On Instagram at wakeupcall_DT. Vote on Facebook at wakeupcallDT. Vote on X at callDT. Do it, and you got a week to do it. And Murph and I will tell you next week how the voting went. With that being said, have a beautiful, wonderful day. I want Murph to think about this because I put the poll up with Papa Joe when we were broadcasting live from St. Augustine, Florida last week. Who would you rather want? If you had to pick right now and you had to put somebody with you in a two-man group, who would you rather play with? Tiger Woods in his prime or Scotty Scheffler right now? I want you to think about it.
Wait a minute. I don't really. I just have one question.
Yeah.
Are they my partner or am I playing against them?
They're your partner.
I am taking Tiger 10 times out of 10.
Okay.
I love you, Scotty. I love you. Team TaylorMade. But anybody who doesn't answer Tiger Woods to that question is just a fool. Genuinely.
All right. Some people said, somebody wrote in and said it's getting closer. He thinks it's getting closer.
It's getting closer, sure.
He thinks it's
but
getting closer.
But there was nobody that was better than Tiger in his prime.
Well, Tiger Woods is the reason. Tiger Woods, Davis Love III, and Payne Stewart are the reasons why I even have any connection to golf. I remember anytime Tiger was on and he was putting, I would stop and look at the television. So something about Tiger Woods brought me into the game.
I got two quick things before we jump out of here real quick.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods, first of all, did things that nobody else ever did with a golf club. And he's using these tiny little Nike blades from the early 2000s and this 200cc driver that he's hitting 320. If the guys now used that stuff in that era against Tiger, they wouldn't stand a chance. No chance on earth. Technology now is a million times better than it was 20 years ago. Number two, I'm going to make a prediction here that we can revisit next week when we talk U.S. Open.
Okay.
I am going to safely say that the winner of the U.S. Open will not finish under par. There will not be a single player in the field who finishes under par. The winner will be over par this week. The conditions at Oakmont look gnarly. The rough around the greens is 5 inches thick. You literally can't see the golf ball. If you're in the rough off the tee, you've got almost no chance of hitting the green. So, Bryson, I'm sorry, you're not going to defend your title. You are not going to defend your title. It is going to come down to who can hit the fairways. The greens are going to be running at 14, 15 on the stimp. It is going to be brutal. The winner will be, I'm going to predict the winner is 3 over par.
Okay.
And I'm going to say And I'm going to say, to be quite honest, somebody who can drive the golf ball well. And I think this is a hot take. I think Tommy Fleetwood wins his first major this week.
Okay.
That would be, we would then be 3/4 of the way to the TaylorMade Slam.
Okay. All right. Murph got some things here. Murph's got some words, got some excitement, and we got some thoughts. And we'll see what happens as we get into it next week on DT and Murphy, which will join you to start off the week as we always do here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Murph, as always, it's been a pleasure to everybody watching and listening up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe. Thank you for being patient as we unveiled the biggest lot ever brought in to Wake Up Call on my side. Murph, I'll talk with you soon.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life, we want to thank you for tuning into the show and appreciate you so very much for being a part of Wake Up Call every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You're with us up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. So however you're connected to us, we thank you for tuning in every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Then we jump into the archives on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podvine, Podchaser.com, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. You can also ask Alexa or your Google Home device to play the latest episode of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and they'll do that for you as well. Many thanks to Brooklyn Pickle and Southern Pines. From New York to North Carolina, you'll find our Brooklyn Pickle Southern Pines segment, which is called In a New York Minute, and that has inspirational advice that comes to you every single week here on Wake Up Call. Look out for the videos on our social media, and look out for Brooklyn Pickle on 1788 Old Morganton Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina. And many thanks to our partners in Central and Upstate New York, Great Lakes Honda City, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, GG Cards and Breaks, as well as Servomation, Ma and Pa's, Avicoli's, Mother's Cupboard, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Chick-fil-A Cicero, Pizza Man, Brian's Landing, and we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your. Lemoyne College Dolphins, it's Fins Up every single month on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Dolphins every Wednesday during Dolphin Time, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, with student athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni joining the show for 4 years now and running. You will find them on youtube.com /WakeUpCallDT. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find our Lemoyne playlist on YouTube. You'll also find the Dolphins on WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to LemoyneDolphins.com and Fins Up. The Bryan and Stratton College of Bobcats of Syracuse are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find your Bobcats every single month with the Bobcat Buzz. Student athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni joining the show. Go to youtube.com /WakeUpCallDT. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find the BSC Syracuse playlist. You also find the Bobcats on WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com and go Bobcats. The Binghamton University Bearcats are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find the Bearcats every single Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time during Bearcat Time, with student athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni joining the show. The Bearcats are with you on youtube.com /WakeUpCallDT. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find our Binghamton playlist that has all of our broadcasts with the Bearcats. You also find them by going to WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to BinghamtonBearcats.com and go Bearcats. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, I want to thank you for tuning into today's show. I want to thank you all for being with us for 2 weeks as we broadcasted from our second home down in the great state of Florida. I want to thank all my incredible guests. I want to thank my big brother Joey for an all-new segment called Cuts and Cards, a new way to box break, proudly presented by GG Cards and Breaks. I want to thank Murph today. I want to thank all of you and I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful start to your week. Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, X at Call DT, Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. God bless. No stress. Do your best. Check out our other shows at Superpowered Pop for our coverage of Universal's Epic Universe, and at Do Diz with Dan for our coverage of Walt Disney World. We'll talk with you all soon. Stay safe. From the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, this is Wake Up Call, and you matter.